wanted to start just to explain a bit what YunoJuno does and what YunoJuno is about. So we have over a decade of experience of helping clients and contractors managing contingent workforce programs. Basically, we have been focusing on serving two needs, and therefore we have two main products. So the first need is that a lot of the clients and the contractors have like a big contingent workforce program in place, and we have basically developed a proprietary technology solution that allows to manage end-to-end workforce program, contingent workforce programs. So this is our freelancer management system, and in here, basically, in one solution, you can source, onboard, pay contractors, do global compliance, while not losing user experience. Then we have a second product that it's like a talent marketplace, where we help clients to source in the disciplines of creative and technology. And we have like 100,000 more like vetted, highly skilled freelancers. Now, we have a different approach for what's happening in the industry, because we are first and foremost a product and technology company, and a little bit like consumer brands like Amazon, Airbnb, Booking have disrupted industries. We also take a user experience first approach to everything that we delivered. So one of our mission and ambition is actually to develop a new gold standard on how to manage and deliver contingent workforce programs. One of the things that we really are keen to, it's making sure that our foundational and expertise, it's also baked in. So whenever we do products like compliance, is going to be a first. And then we also make sure that like the payments and the experience on the contractor side and all the end-to-end life cycle of the contingent workforce product managements are like able to be delivered within the product. We can pay in more than 150 countries. We have clients close to currently around 70 countries. One of the things that we are really keen is like the service levels to make sure that we are quite fast on onboarding like contractors. So we normally like aim for times to hire in less than 6 hours, and to provide an outcome of like a particular around the global classification in less than 5 minutes. Then today in here, like we wanted to share a little bit of our view where the industry is going. So we have picked up some stats from the staffing industry analysts that they have done a survey with their like clients and buyers on where they see the industry going. So from expansion of the industry, we can see in the first charts that today the organizations already have 22% of their workers are actually contingent workforce workers, meaning freelancers or contractors. And in the next 10 years, they see that this is going to increase up to 27%. Then 67.5% of the organizations are using contractors, and 80% of global firms are also using like contractors. Now, our view is that that number of 27% is probably going to be much higher, because there's a few trends that are now coming into play that are shaping and probably will actually change and have transformative impact in the industry. So the first one that we see is actually moving from jobs hiring to skill-based hiring. This is quite important, because like there's a lot of focus on impact on the organizations, and like there's also like a lot of focus on internal mobility. So like moving from almost like having org charts to have actually organizations mapped by skills, and then reshaping within internal resources skills that are within the organization and that can move around, and also then identifying skills that are missing and that we can up and down like the workforce based on the skills. Then the second trend that we see is like integration of AI and automation. So AI, it's a buzzword these days, and it's probably in everyone's top of mind, and particularly around ChatGPT and a few other technologies that are being released. And the reality is that it's going to have very likely a transformative impact within the industry, because some jobs will be heavily impacted by this, and the new jobs will also be created by the adoption of this technology. We believe that AI and automation will also have an amplifying impact on the skills, because if the adoption of artificial intelligence and tools like ChatGPT, while it increases, it will also require operators of these new technologies that very likely require a new skill set that today doesn't exist in the market. Our view is that independent contractors and workers and freelancers, they are very best placed to do this, because they have been always reskilling themselves, and they have been in the forefront normally of picking up new skills, particularly around new technologies. And then the third point that we believe that it's going to also to have an impact is around building flexibility to better respond to economic changes. So over the last years, we can see that the cycles and the economic cycles have been quite volatile. So we went through an economy expansion. Now we are more with economic uncertainty, and having a larger portion of the workforce relying on independent contractors, it's going to provide that flexibility also to respond faster when you need to increase the workforce. But if you need to resize, it's also going to be much easier to do. Then this doesn't also come without challenges. So all of these trends are quite positive, and they will have impact in the organizations. However, we also, when we look at the landscape, there are massive challenges. So, for example, if we look how we manage contingent workforce programs, if we take an example of the MSP proprietary tech, and one of the answers is that a lot of the people in here are leveraging managed service providers, is that normally these are legacy technology products that are highly fragmented and are difficult to connect with other systems. So what I see is that there's going to be a challenge on how organizations move from the traditional players to new technology that actually has an ecosystem play with AI, with automation, with skills-based, and that keeps up with a very fast-paced environment. And then I think with another challenge, it's going to be with distributed workforces. So after COVID, there's been a massive adoption, not by choice, but by need of distributed workforces that it's very likely going to decrease, but it's not going to go away. And that brings a lot of additional complexity, how to manage at scale and in different geographies, a dispersed workforce from a compliance, sometimes from intellectual property, from data protection. So there's many risks associated that with using a more distributed workforce that will need to be solved in the future, and that likely the infrastructure that a lot of the companies have, it's not keeping up with. So this was an intro today, just to set up the scene for the very productive discussions that we will have.